Manchester United all in white, hoping that at least by the end of the season Liverpool will be waving an all-white flag in surrender in this fascinating finale to another Premiership season. It certainly irks all at Liverpool that they've suffered 6 successive seasons without the trophy they rightly regard as the hallmark of success. It's even more irritating for them that their supremacy in the 70s and the 80s should have been seized in the 90s by their Northwest rivals. Forward from Gary Neville, onto the head of Steve Harkness, who's come through some stiff competition to get a place in Liverpool's back three again. An excellent recovery from a broken leg a year ago.
Just looking quickly at Manchester United, it does look like Scholes is going to operate a little bit further forward than a natural midfield player. Probably play very much like Eric Cantona, just off Andy Cole. David Beckham has started wide on the right, with Keane and Buck tucked in the central area.
Here's Pallister. United beaten here in both of their last 2 visits, both 2-0. But on both occasions, Liverpool ended up behind them in the final league table. Thomas, who's been brought back to stiffen Liverpool's midfield. It's a system that's been particularly suited to their away games, but Roy Evans going with it here at Anfield today and resisting the temptation to bring in Collymore. Andy Cole getting his head to it. It drops for Cantona, who struck it acrobatically, if not in the end accurately.
I'll tell you what, it's closer than you think. Didn't look to be troubling the goalkeeper, but it started to dip. This was lovely, patient football. United have controlled the ball, they've knocked it about, they've put passes together. It goes up to meet it early, and it tried very hard for Cantona just to dip under the bar.
Had it done so, I think Jason McAteer would have been a bit disappointed about his challenge. Overturned the shoulder. Liverpool led the league when they went to Old Trafford in October. They will lead it again if they beat United today. Down goes Keane, who has been effective in that crucial midfield area in previous matches between these two enormous outfits. Short from Beckham to Keane. Pressed by Redmond. Peter Schmeichel was doing vigorous warm-up exercises on that damaged back. Then the kick-in, of course, he was actually selected for the match in Dortmund and had to bail out before the first whistle. But he's on duty, and at the other end, David James, who's been suffering from the jitters. Hope to have a more serene experience, if that's possible, within a fixture like this.
See what Scholes did there, Martin. I think that's, when you play Liverpool, that's so important. When they get the ball in the areas that they've got it now at the back, they do like to pop passes about, but if you can press them quickly and early, well, I think you're better suited, and they can win the ball back easier. It forces them to do that. And in all honesty, with just Robbie Fowler up there, I think Johnsen and Pallister will be happy to deal with the ball travelling 30, 40 yards through the air.
But Liverpool at the moment being forced to almost play like the away side. Palmer with a ricochet against Cantona that he was fortunate to get away with. McAteer. McManaman is up alongside Fowler at the moment. Phil Neville preferred to Dennis Irwin, who is a substitute today. But Cantona took it beautifully, sliding it through for Cole.
Well, the warning signs were all there. And it's only the pace of the ball that defeats Andy Cole. He checks his run just in time, and then he's there to be slid in. And it's only fractionally ahead of him. Just wanted it basically alongside him there rather than in front of him.
Paul is the referee, and he's penalised another Scholes challenge. If confidence is important for players today, it's also important for the officials, and it's not a commodity that Graham Poll is short of. McMahon, Barnes, veteran of so many of these fixtures. Bjørnebæk. Here comes another Norwegian, Ronny Johnsen. Redknapp. Nothing seen in the opening 5 minutes of Liverpool as an attacking force. But here's Harkness. McManaman, Scholes nipping in again, but it deflects for Fowler. Back with Harkness. And United working hard to close down Liverpool in possession and force errors, although there wasn't too much force applied to Jamie Redknapp then, but it was nervously stabbed at and the ball went out of play.
It's just denying him space as well, Martin. I think what else in this Liverpool system is so important is that if they're playing Barnes and Redknapp and Thomas in this team, I think Redknapp and Thomas must take it on themselves to get ahead of the play a little bit at times. I think John Barnes will be the one to sit, to be the focal point of it all, but someone, either Thomas or Redknapp, almost every attack has got to, I think, get up in support of Fowler. If they don't, they're just going to have the three of them just strung along the midfield area, just popping passes to each other, and Manchester United will be quite happy if they do so.
Well, Gary Pallister was trying to find Gary Neville, and it was a terrible attempt in truth. It's led in McManaman. And Pallister puts his hand to his mouth in amazement, really, that he could make such a mistake. Neville was in absolutely acres of space on the right.
Just bobbles
the
up,
miss kick.
It just bobbles up, to be fair to Gary Pallister, but this ball from Bjørnebæk is an absolute peach. And I think that is where, if he has a fault, Steve McManaman, he's got to work in it more. That's a decent chance. He's only 18 yards from goal. It sets up quite beautifully, and he really scuffs it. I can remember a couple of weeks ago, pretty much in the same area, went through against Coventry City. That high inside right place and just didn't hit the target again. I think it's just important at this level that you do test the goalkeeper.
But it just shows that by, if you like, rationing their attacking play and waiting for mistakes and picking their moments to go forward, Liverpool can still threaten. And McManaman, who needs one goal incidentally for 50 for Liverpool, will be feeling at the moment that he might have reached that landmark at a vital stage in Liverpool's season. But here he is on the ball. And here's Barnes. Now Butt. Almost too many players in white coming each other's way. Thomas tight on Scholes. Beckham, Cantona. Cantona again, linking up well with Beckham. And Mickey Butt, who got into the penalty area beyond the far post, now doing a bit of retrieving, trying to flick it past McAteer unsuccessfully. Redknapp. Scholes trying to indicate that he was dealing with self-protection then. Possibly not to dispute the free kick, to make sure that the yellow card wasn't coming out. It didn't.
I'm not so sure what Jamie Redknapp was looking for there, Martin. I was happy to get the free kick. I'm not so sure where his pass was either intended or going to end up. But it's certainly been a start in the match when the team that hasn't had possession is certainly putting pressure on the team with possession and forcing them to play quickly. Really test skill when that happens.
Well, Liverpool do love to stroke the ball about. Some say they've done it too often, overplayed. The players themselves would dispute that. They say their style is deceptive. Here's Beckham, who of course beat Liverpool at Old Trafford back in October with a strike from that sort of distance.
Not a great header from Kwame. He didn't really get any distance in it, but always struggling with a shot. Didn't have an awful lot to aim at, to be fair.
Beckham, who was dropped at Blackburn last Saturday after a not distinguished display in Dortmund. course, Ferguson has had so many alternatives, especially when everyone is fit, and they're certainly getting that work. Which will be a comfort, bearing in mind their much publicised hectic end to the season. Phil Neville impeding McAteer. Free kick to Liverpool. Bernabei is coming across to get involved. And that's the signal for Mark Wright to make a late move forward. To challenge for a ball in the air that he expects to be supplied by Bernabei. There it is. It came off Keane's head. Schmeichel was unruffled by the presence of Fowler.
They don't have great targets in there, Liverpool, and unless Mark Wright goes up and they don't aim for him, he looks to bend it in. The free kicks delivered pretty well. But Robbie Fowler and Steve McManaman not really noted for their aerial ability.
A little bit of contact there, nothing sinister between Bernabei and Cantona. It's a free kick to United, taken quickly by the captain. Beckham, Cantona, here comes Harkness. Now Liverpool can move forward here with McManaman. McAteer racing down the right. Fowler's gone from centre to left. Redknapp. United regrouping. And McManaman adjudged offside by Barry Priest.
Pity. They just lost momentum. It was a good break initially. When they got there, you look now across there, 4 white shirts strung along the edge of the 18-yard box. They've got plenty of men back.
David James was calling there, but should have been for the defender to clear it. Wouldn't have run through to him. Andy Cole would have got in the way.
Well, I thought he shouted keepers as well, Martin, to be fair to him. I mean, I thought he's taking a chance. I thought that Huey Cole was in there.
Well, it's on crosses that this giant of a goalkeeper has just looked particularly short of confidence. He had some very fortunate moments at Goodison Park on Wednesday. It's a terrific header from Gary Pallister.
It's a terrific header, Martin, but it's an unchallenged one. They gripped really well at the edge of the box, 4 of them. And then they really attacked it and attacked it early. Look, there's not one in sight yet. Suddenly they appear en masse. Mark Wright's just half a yard away from him. He's not close enough, you can see that. You cannot give someone like Gary Pallister that time, that space, because that's the inevitable outcome. Yes, it was Pallister.
12 minutes gone. And Gary Pallister, who came very close at Blackburn last week, he hit the bar. This time he's hit the back of the net. And Manchester United's very solid start has been rewarded with a goal. And the Liverpool fans are a bit anxious about this place crossed by McAteer. Well, when you think that United haven't scored here since that famous 3-3 game, which does seem a long time ago, more than 3 years, it's a goal for them to savour, and in the Championship context, even more vital. And here's the younger Neville. Reflects.
Well, if there's anything good come from it, man, is it's come early enough for the damage to certainly be repaired. But they've started really confidently, Manchester United. They've popped the ball about with confidence.
Gary Neville. Now Phil Neville with Nicky Butt breaking to the left. Palmer drawn out of the centre, but struggling really even to keep it in play.
Yeah, they've no great width. Any time the full-back's got the ball like that, whether either of the Nevilles, Mark, they haven't really got an outlet wide of them. Beckham and Butt actually moving from in to out if they're going to give them some width. But I think they're quite happy to let Bjornaby and McAteer to a certain extent have the ball. Manchester United wide. I think what they don't want is for them to be playing it through the middle.
Here's Björneby. McManaman. Pursued by Johnsen. Barnes stretching and controlling and trying to get it forward quickly to the run of Redknapp. It counts a little fortuitously for Liverpool then. Pallister heads away. It should be Schmeichel's. Well, Gary Pallister, who's had a little bit of a shaky time defensively over the last few weeks, he'd be the first to admit that, has produced as an attacking force here. And we can talk, and quite rightly Andy mentions the marking wasn't good enough, but it still has to be stuck away, and it was done there expertly. A player who's looking to add to his tally of medals, been through most of the good times with Alex Ferguson. What will Liverpool's response here? They've been talking about their great spirit, that they're not a soft touch. They need a hard edge now, and it's Keane who clears.
I don't think you see anything like panic or anything like that from Liverpool. I think they're still sticking, pass the ball about. I think they might do it with a little bit more urgency. I think that might be the difference.
Liverpool have got one more Premiership game here in a couple of weeks against Tottenham, and then they finish with away matches at Wimbledon and Sheffield Wednesday, who drew and won at Anfield respectively. And James starting to go and hoping. Oh, there's an interception here for Andy Cole. Confusion between Kwame and goalkeeper. And Cole could have doubled Manchester United's lead.
I fancied him. He did the first bit really well. You watch the way he doesn't even go in for the challenge, he just reads the knockback. He did that bit beautifully. He knows he's got to play it first time. It's not his strong side, he's left. And I think that shows. I think had that been the other side, he might have stroked that a bit more accurately. But it's a good chance, and his manager knows it.
Was it Mark Wright who was just getting back? Maybe he'd have been able to clear a shot on target, but we'll never know. Gary Neville drilling it with the utmost self-belief across the field. Neville, but he's asked too much of his brother there. And McAteer seized it for Liverpool. Now here's Thomas. McAteer again. And the call today. After Rob Jones had played the last two games, McAteer was suspended for one. He started on the bench at Everton on Wednesday night. Thomas slide it through for Robbie Fowler. Beckham for United. Well, Cole was looking across more when the ball was played than keeping Alan Sheffield inside. He raised the flag. His attempted pass cut out by Keane.
That's where they flooded it, Mark. That's the example we're talking about. They don't want to be picking passes out, but with Beckham infield, with Keane all there, Liverpool are finding it really difficult to pick passes through the middle.
McAteer. That's a bit more like it from Liverpool, having conceded a goal from the corner. They forced a corner of their own. It's taken quickly. And Barnes is free! Schmeichel couldn't keep it out! The quickness of thinking from Liverpool has led to an equaliser from the captain.
It was quick thinking. Mark Wright was only halfway there, but they take a quick corner. Look at the marking on Barnes, it's non-existent. Two players who are good headers of the ball have been given free headers from inside 12 yards, and both have made it count. This is a little bit further than Pallister's, but it's an equally good header. Down towards the line, difficult for the goalkeeper. Liverpool right back in it.
Hope restored for Roy Evans. Well, both sides have scored inside the opening 20 minutes. The contest living up to the billing and more.
I think Fergie will be absolutely furious, Mark. More so, I think, than Roy Evans would have been, because they have been so comfortable, you know, for 20 minutes almost. No trouble at all at the back. And they just go to sleep for a second. A little bit of quick thinking. And John Barnes has punished them.
And here's McAteer and McManaman. Such a lift for Liverpool, who were fearing not only that the game might be going away from them so early, but the title with it. Cantona cleverly screening it away from Harkness. Across comes Aquama. Beckham heads it back to Cole, who's behind Mark Wright. Cantona is there. Cole uses him.
Another one goes begging. I mean, some of the defenders at the moment we're seeing is not of the quality you expect. Kwama's header there is such a poor one. Andy Cole can't get the chance himself, but I tell you, normally, even on his left side, you'd expect the Frenchman to at least test the goalkeeper.
Well, the bigger the game, the better his contribution usually, and Liverpool know all about that. The FA Cup final, for example. His comeback from suspension, of course, was against Liverpool at Old Trafford some 18 months ago now. And he destroyed that occasion. Here he is, heading on for Cole. Appealing for handball by Kramer as he came across.
Tell you what, Mark, it was worth a shout. I don't know if the referee had such a good view of it from where he was. But certainly from up here, it certainly looked like Kramer. I think the flag's gone. It's a free kick to Manchester United.
A bit of tugging by Kramer.
Yeah, flag went up early. Flag went up very quickly. I mean, this is a good run from Furlong. I'm not so sure he needed to use any force. He looked to be getting round Gary Pallister. But this is the incident at the other end. Cole looks to flick it up over Kwama, just there. The right arm comes down. I mean, I don't know how good a view the referee had of it. But certainly you could see why Andy Cole was upset. That ball was going over Kwama, into Cole's path for a chance, had the arm not been up. So it depends on the referee's interpretation of it. But once again, when Cole went through, and marking, just from an ordinary knock-on from Cantona, is non-existent.
Well, it's Manchester United who have some defensive difficulties here. Roy Keane penalised halfway through the first half. And anyone who expected a cautious beginning to this game has been proved wrong. Chances are plenty, a goal apiece. Harkness. McAteer. Barnes. For McManaman. On for Fowler. Past Schmeichel, but not even yet out of play. It has gone behind now.
Lovely football from Liverpool. This time they do get it right through the middle. It's all down to Barnes, quick feet and accuracy of his passing. That's a great little touch on here. But look at Schmeichel. I tell you what, Fowler would have seen very little of the target, you know, from that angle. Goalkeeper comes out, stands big. Makes it really difficult for Fowler, who really, at the end, I don't think knew what he was doing. I'm not sure whether it was an attempted shot across.
Well, Fowler's appetite for goals, particularly avaricious at Anfield. 22 in 20 home games this season. He's only scored 4 away in the Premiership. On home soil, he really is the hitman supreme, but the comfort for wasting an opportunity like that, at least the opportunity was there, and forwards will always tell you. And it's when the chances don't materialise that they get concerned. Pallister for Manchester United, John Barnes for Liverpool, both with headers. And David James having a discussion there with Mark Lever about the footwear. Right. Bjorneby. There to support as the header is put back into a reasonable area. Foul. Now Tots. Often competing for the same place as Jamie Redknapp, but the two of them involved in Roy Evans thinking in recent games to start. Pallister. Cole making a run off Palmer. Out comes James and misses the ball. Palmer is there. It's another awkward moment for a goalkeeper who, as we've pointed out quite often recently, has been Liverpool's first choice for more than 3 years now. And although James has shown admirable consistency, it's meant that Tony Warner, the number 2, has never played a senior game, and if Roy Evans was thinking of resting David James, he'd have to bring in an untried goalkeeper.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there, Martin. Cole gets any touch in that, takes it to his left. The goalkeeper's in no man's land.
This is Beckham from a great touch by Cole. Well, Manchester United will have plenty of belief that they can score again here.
Cole's caused them all sorts of problems, you know, just with his running. He's diagonal runs, the ball's through to him.
He was so admirable at Ewood Park last Saturday when he scored one and made 2. And Alec Ferguson came out and said that he was certainly going to play in the next game. It just happened to be this one. Johnsen. Now Keane. Scholes. Pretty tight in there, but he did very well, and Butt can carry the move forward for Manchester United. We have to say that Liverpool will hope to attack the top end of the stadium rather better than they're defending it. McManaman. Now McAteer. McManaman racing to the right. Fowler trying to just pull away from Johnsen. He's done so. And
he had a look, Fowler, didn't he? He had a little look at the referee to see. I think he's a little unlucky, you know, Martin, because he did the first bit really well, just ducking inside Johnsen, getting his toe to the ball there. I think it would have been harsh had anything been given.
Well, then he turned to Graham Cole and said, "Ref, that wasn't a penalty."
Bet your life he didn't.
Cantona. This is Butt. Scholes is there to try and help him out, but he's been pressed further back by Liverpool. Keane. United keeping the ball. Beckham. Off the head of Mark Wright. The danger not totally away from the Liverpool goal. Butt is there. And Scholes. And McAteer's clearance, well, luckily for him, it went to Barnes, who controlled well, gave the ball to Bjorneby. A bit of a chapter of accidents for Liverpool. Barnes. Now Bjorneby. Well, if the early start has slowed some of the players, most of them seem to be defenders. The way the game has developed to this point. Bjorneby. Liverpool kept the ball, but they're going to get a free kick. Pallister noticeably pulling out to watch Mark Wright. Schmeichel acrobatically fisting it away. Harkness to put it deep. Here is Wright. McAteer first to this. Phil Neville slips. Decent angle for the cross. Off the head of Keane. Redknapp, difficult ball to strike. Björneby, a bit of pressure from Liverpool. Tackle with real teeth to it from Keane. Another Liverpool free kick. And Paul calling Keane across.
Well, certainly a Roy Keane type tackle. I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's not what the free kick was given for. Free kick was given for that, just as he's trying to pull away.
Beckham. McManaman. Just having to knock it into space.
Good pressure this from Liverpool, Martin. Good 2 or 3 minutes. They've kept the ball. They've kept United pinned back.
Not a great deal in it. And it's 1-1 with half an hour gone. Barnes. Neville. Not betraying any nerves. What was an easy steer back to Schmeichel. Harkness again. Matteo and Ruddock and Babb are all fit, but Harkness is in the team. Björneby. Redknapp coming deep to get involved, as Liverpool like to do, but the moment they do that, Butt and Scholes and even Keane are pushing further forward and saying to Liverpool, will you pass it through us? Well, they just did that to a point to get the ball to McManaman. Keane can't stop him. Redknapp. Beckham chasing, but Harkness is there first. Here's John Barnes. Only Fowler in a real forward position for Liverpool at the moment. McManaman looking to link up with Barnes. And the best McManaman could do would to prevent a goal kick.
Yeah, John Barnes apologised to McManaman. He was a bit unlucky though. Made the angle well. Touch was just a little bit heavy, but there was nothing heavy about this touch. McManaman and McAteer, quick corner. United aren't set. Barnes certainly is. This is a fine header. Down, makes it difficult for Schmeichel to stop it.
Sometimes the stress and significance of a match of this nature can dull the nature of the play. It hasn't been like that at Anfield this morning. One out of one in terms of shots on target for Liverpool and Manchester United, a goal apiece. McAteer. Redknapp. Björneby. Finds one or two options to the right. McAteer wasn't the best ball to him. And allowed Neville to check. McManaman, of course, is a splendid athlete, and he's almost doing both jobs, playing as a support striker and still being the sort of McManaman that we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years when there has been another forward like Collymore in the side. Thomas, who was brought on in Paris to try and limit the damage, and has stayed in the side since then. Barnes, Fowler. This is where Liverpool Can look to be clever. The cross from Björnevik. Always back to Pallister to be in the right place for that sort of ball. Out comes Butt. Thomas for Liverpool. Barnes. 10 minutes left in an action-packed first half. McManaman. Fowler. In first time from McAteer. Scholes, and Andy Cole trying to pull away from Farmer. He's done that a good few times in the first half, but not on that occasion. Cole, about whom it was said that he could only score goals and not get involved in the build-up play. Well, I think he's given the lie to that. The way Manchester United have to use him, or decided to use him. It's an interesting comparison in terms of Andy Cole as we look at the possession statistics there, very much in Liverpool's favour. Cole played 84 games for Manchester United, the same as he's played for Newcastle, and the number of goals, 31 for United, 68 for Newcastle. Doesn't take into account the ones that he's made for others, though. The player himself.
It's in a really good spell, Martin. 10-15 minutes for the home side. You saw from the possession, they've really dominated it in that spell. They've had the ball the majority of the time. Manchester United, all they've been able to do is defend.
Fowler. Yes, it's different very much from the way the game started, where Manchester United were the first to settle, the first to score. Visibly lifted by John Barnes' header that brought them level.
Yeah, I think for 20 minutes Alex Ferguson would have been absolutely delighted with his team. Not the fact that they were 1-0 up, but the fact that the way they played so well and confidently. But full marks to Liverpool. They're just coming straight back, and since the goal, well, they've dominated everything, to be fair to them.
Without also, I think it must be said, without looking assured totally in defending their own goal. That will be a concern to Roy Evans, who's seen too many points slip away at Anfield. Most notably that defeat by Coventry here recently, which came 24 hours after Manchester United appeared to have opened the door to Liverpool by losing themselves on their own ground to Derby. Right. Barnes wanting to get the ball down despite the traffic. That's the Liverpool way. It's been their recipe for success, pass and move. Success by which they judge themselves is winning the league title. That's why Roy Evans says it's the biggest game since he's been in charge. It's as close as they've come to finishing the season on top of the pile. Still Manchester United in the position that the challengers would envy. Gary Neville. Now there is rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester as nearby cities on many different fronts, but this football fixture really crystallising the feelings between the communities. And beneath or one hopes, a grudging respect for what each other has achieved. Manchester United know they've still got a bit to do in terms of the silverware to match what Liverpool achieved so splendidly in the 60s, 70s and 80s, especially in Europe. They improved. United this season, both clubs with big European games to come next week and deficits to try and recover. And Fowler nipping in, caught out Pallister.
Yeah, he's threatened in 2 or 3 occasions, Robbie Fowler. Just hasn't run from the ball when he needed it to. That one yet again, just it didn't look favourite. Pallister looked to be mopping it up. He wasn't.
We tend to forget, Andy, that right at the start of his career, Steve McManaman did get a sight or two of the Liverpool first team as an out-and-out striker. And he guided the ball on cleverly there with his head for to almost embarrass Pallister. But Cantona put behind by Harkness for a Manchester United corner. Just under 5 minutes to go to half-time.
That's the danger, even though you dominate possession against Manchester United, Martin. You give it away like that, one pass, and Cantona's almost through.
2 headed goals already in the game. Johnsen, and very nearly another headed goal. Good stop, instinctive reflexes from David James. It wasn't that high to get up and over the bar, but he did it.
It goes straight up, and that's the secret. It is instinctive. I think if this is a yard either side of David James, it's a goal. Once again, it's that little cluster of 4 who, when it's just about to be played, they just spread and attack the ball.
Pallister gets another one. Manchester United back in front.
Well, you just don't learn, Martin. 20 seconds ago, Johnsen could have given them the lead. And from the resulting corner, David James comes in again. I have to say, into an area where he's getting nowhere near the ball. The goalkeeper comes in there and he cleans everything out. You look how far away he is from getting anything on it. And Pallister, well, he just needs any nudge on it, and it must surely go in.
Well, what a day it's turning out to be for Gary Pallister. Johnsen, who might have restored the lead, Pallister did. And Van Hoddle will be taking note of that. John Gorman alongside him. McManaman. Talk about who's going to finish highest in the league. It's about who can jump highest on the day here. A mistake by Mark Wright. Cantona for Andy Cole. Trying to get past Wright, who saw him off probably more through experience than anything else. Oh, Barnes losing out. Cole had the shot. James can't hold it straight away. Keane was complaining that Cole didn't give the ball to him. And Liverpool were lucky that they're not further adrift.
Well, it's added to the excitement, but it won't please the managers, the fact that the defending's been as shaky at times, particularly Liverpool, giving the ball away again in an area where you shouldn't be. Dangerous.
McAteer. Bjornovic. Beckham's pass, and when he dropped that for Cole, they were 2-on-1 against Palmer. Barnes. Harassing Roy Keane. And that's the sort of work that Liverpool need in a plenty now. was a good decision by Graham Paul. Liverpool did keep the ball, but McAteer had to put the brakes on to get it, and Scholes, in that terrier-like way of his, was late on Redknapp. Redknapp has a go at beating Schmeichel from a long-range free kick, as Robbie Fowler did in this fixture last season. Not quite that far out then, though.
That was ambitious. He was lining his wall up, Schmeichel. Jimmy Redknapp obviously got the nod that it was okay to take it. The goalkeeper had gotten across quite comfortably.
The need to win the game, quite patent for Liverpool, but the need to defend against Manchester United important as well, and they haven't done that with any efficiency, and Manchester United might feel quite literally that they're heading for the championship. Gary Pallister with the head work. They won't be pleased with the way they allowed in John Barnes unattended to nod in the equaliser, but Pallister there again with a flick of the neck muscles. And Manchester United started the half well, they finished it well. Good spells for Liverpool in between, but at half-time at Anfield, Liverpool 1, United 2. Pallister, 10 league goals in 8 seasons with Manchester United prior to today, 2 in 45 minutes at Anfield. Will it be enough? Liverpool, since the Premier League was formed, have finished 6th, 8th, 4th and 3rd. McAteer, McManaman. Barnes, Fowler. Redknapp well forward. Going to be joining Fowler in the centre. Barnes to the feet of Fowler. The flick went straight to Cantona. Cantona is back heel, straight to Björneby, and we saw a lot of mistakes in the first half, which contributed, of course, to the high level of entertainment. And here's Philip Neville. McManaman. Playing the way that has produced so many great recoveries down the years. McManaman and Schmeichel making sure everything was behind it.
It came through a few players. A lot of white shirts that pressed them, and they managed to squeeze the shot through. Comfortable save at the end.
Providing the perfect link in midfield, the captain. Fowler. Neville and Schmeichel in danger of getting a little too close to each other.
He did well though, Schmeichel, Martin, and he didn't panic and lash at it wildly. He almost just side-footed it to safety.
Cantona, everyone from Manchester United in their own half. Crossing the white line now with Beckham and Cole pushing forward, but Gary Neville in a big challenge here with Björneby, and it went United's way because Buck was on hand when the ball broke loose, and Scholes, that was a bit taken by surprise.
It was actually a decent ball from Paul Scholes. He played it lovely into his space. I think he was worried about running offside. But it's set up for a classic second half with Liverpool needing to score, well, if not one, if not two, certainly a goal. And Manchester United so apt at counter-attacking.
Between Fowler and McManaman. I'm sure many of you watching will be wondering when Liverpool might turn to Stan Collymore. And look at the space for Scholes coming in here, and then he was trying something very flashy, or aware of those running to the right in Manchester United all white.
Again, he got in easy. That's the worry. I think he tried to play that with his right foot. I'm sure it was there to be hit with the left.
No hometown decision, that one. Manchester United's throw already taken. Ferguson went on record some weeks ago saying that Manchester United will finish with 77 points. Well, if he's right, they'll be champions, because Liverpool can only get 76. That's, of course, counting a win today. Arsenal 75.
Well, I think Collymore's got to be brought in sooner rather than later, Martin. I have to say, when you're chasing a game like this, they really need a threat up there.
Well, I think the crowd agree with you.
I just think, you know, when you've got that, McManaman's not at his best up top there. I think get him back into that little half-and-half area and put someone up with Fowler. And it's not that anyone's played badly, it's a reflection on anyone's performance, but somebody will have to be sacrificed for that.
Cantona in a tight corner. And so too, in a different sense, of Liverpool. Beckham. Redknapp's header drops for Roy Keane. David James coming out to meet that on the volley, but there was no alarm because the flag was already up. And that stoppage allows the change to be made, and Jason McAteer staring at the bench saying, me? It is. So McAteer is replaced, and he's bewildered by that. Collymore is on. He's had another season where there have been highs, but plenty of lows personally for a player who for 6 spells of varying lengths has been left out of the Liverpool side over the season, but has still scored in 27 starts, 14 goals, plus one when he was used as a substitute.
Well, they've just pulled McManaman to this right-hand side. Martin, whether he'll do that wing-back type role, but I'm sure it will be an advanced wing-back. Not too many defensive duties. Keep the 3 centre-backs intact.
Cantona. And ball was it by Harkness. Manchester United were appealing for it. The game goes on. They might be glad for that, but the flag is raised in the end. But what responsibility on Stan Collymore's shoulders, not just in this match, but of course, with this being Robbie Fowler's swan song as far as the Premiership is concerned, because of suspension in those 3 remaining league games, one assumes that Collymore will be called off.
That was tight. Sorry, Martin, that was tight, that. You look how close this is when the ball's played. Look at the bottom of the screen. In fact, he's not off.
The point's certainly not in Manchester United's bag as yet. They lead by 2 Gary Pallister headers to 1 from John Barnes. Redknapp. Barnes going to the left. Redknapp not giving him a good ball at all. At least Barnes' pressure made Gary Neville put it out for the throw. It's almost too simple a pass for a player who sprays it around usually better than he just executed that last touch. Collymore. Right. And Schmeichel's got to keep his eye on the ball, but again, any real danger is averted by an offside decision.
I think it's Fowler coming out. It is Robbie Fowler. I don't think Collymore was off. Again, that's one of those touch and go.
Would that be offside?
Well, I suppose when he turns and then gets involved. Yeah.
And Sheffield, the official who was involved in that incident at Old Trafford last Sunday when the ball struck the Middlesbrough crossbar. Chesterfield coming from Howard with a shot, and nothing was given in the end, although Alan Sheffield did have a flag raised. McManaman. Barnes, flag is raised again.
I think there's more of a threat there. I think since they come on, Stan, it's given Robbie Fowler a partner. It's given Liverpool a more of an option where it really matters on the edge of the box. Just strays a little.
But it's also kept the three in midfield, Redknapp, Thomas and Barnes, and it's a back four with Kramer on the right, Denmark right, Harkness and Björnevik. McManaman. So Liverpool forced into a reshape. Manchester United must be careful. The decisions are going in their favour. There's still 35 minutes to go, and it might just take one misjudgment in looking for an offside that would let Liverpool back into the game.
That's tight again, that one, isn't it? Very tight. But one of those decisions is going to go Liverpool's way. If Collymore keeps running in there, that's a certainty.
Cantona. It's been a story, really, of the season at the top of the table, that teams perhaps haven't been quite strong enough, even the best in the land, to always hold on to leads in the major matches, or in any match at times, when Liverpool in midweek were thinking that they'd got the points against Everton. Along came one Ferguson in a blue shirt to please another Ferguson, who was sitting in the stand, the manager of Manchester United. Collymore, there's a deflection on that, but it suited Schmeichel in the end.
Yeah, it took all the pace off it. Yeah, that was the thing that helped Schmeichel, kind of just dollied into his arms. Thought he might have just taken another touch. Stan just got out his feet a bit.
Well, they've let it bounce, and not like the government. And Collymore touching it up. Beating Pallister in the air. But Johnsen was quick enough to cope with Fowler's movement.
Good covering from Ronnie Johnsen. That's good defending. He didn't assume that Pallister was going to win the header. He's quite prepared to track Robbie Fowler's run.
Neville. On the chest. The referee had a very good angle on that. So it certainly wasn't handballed by Nicky Butt. And the free kick shortly after he's going to Manchester United. Still more than half an hour to go. Harkness. Barnes caught in possession, and Manchester United able to move forward with Cole. Beckham. Cole gets a cross in, and what a threatening one it was. Steve Harkness diverting it behind with some difficulty and some danger to his own goal.
Great ball, and really fizzes it across in between defender and goalkeeper. That could have ended up anywhere. Steve Harkness isn't sure where this is going to end up. That's him in the shin.
Corner's the story of the game really so far. This time Liverpool do manage to get a defensive head onto the ball. It was Thomas. Neville flipping it to Cole with a fine touch. Cole's cross. Johnsen is there. Chances for Manchester United here. Ronnie Johnsen wasn't quite sure of the best option. Roy Keane knew what he wanted to do, but was nowhere near accomplishing it.
I thought it was a chance for Johnsen there, Martin. I think anyone with a thought for goal here would have just swiveled in this and hit it. Just as, not this one, but just as he turns there, he just kind of was looking for someone to pass it to.
His own particular brand of problems for defenders. He loves to get the ball to his feet, to come and get it, and then turn with the ball and take on even those as gifted as Roy Keane is tackling. And it's a free kick, which Liverpool will hope to use to full advantage. Bjornevik, though, plays it short to Harkness. Barnes. There's the midfield barrier set up by Nicky Butt. Here's Plum. McManaman. Bjornevik, who was so thrilled to be named in the PFA All-Star Premiership team last weekend. Another present for Liverpool this season, when he must have wondered pre-season whether he'd be involved at all. Collymore has made space for himself, and well, the danger was there. Of course, he can hit them better than that.
Yeah, he can. He likes to do that from this side. He gets inside left, he'll come in onto that right side. It opened up for him. The shot was just, well, not of the usual standard.
About the destiny of the Premiership should include a mention of Arsenal at this stage, but what we've got here is a half an hour to go, and Liverpool is certainly desperate for one goal. Roy Evans has been talking about the some value from a drawn game.
I think he's right. I don't think it's the end of the story if they only draw. I have to say, I'm not right in line with that yet again. But certainly Collymore could have been no more than an inch offside. This looked very tight again, Mark. Look at that. The ball's played. That's not even float. That should be allowed to go. I thought the new instructions were supposed to be to benefit the forward, to keep the play moving. Well, that's about 4 times. The decision hasn't gone the way of the forward.
And you would bet that one will before the game comes to a close. Collymore has got the pace to make that count. With the benefit of the replay, that certainly looked onside. Keane. And Liverpool cannot believe that their goalkeeper's been caught out again.
I think we've seen the mistake that's handed the title to Manchester United, Martin. This is a bread and butter cross. He should deal with this. Andy Cole can't believe he's luck. Cannot believe he's luck. The skill that Neville beat Bjornevik with was brilliant. Superb skill. Mustn't forget that. But that's a cross that David James at the practice ground would take 99 times out of 100. The most important day in his club, and that man, Roy Evans' life as a manager of this club.
Well, the list of mistakes has been growing. He fortunate in the match against Newcastle here when Robbie Fowler came up with that late winner. But the loss of confidence, if you like, has led to a loss of judgment. You think of Coventry's comeback to go away from Anfield with the points recently. Hazard showing at times at Goodison Park on Wednesday night, although he did make some excellent saves as well. But it's 3-1 to Manchester United, and well, we've seen some storming finishes at Anfield over the last couple of years. Liverpool have got to try and find another one from somewhere. And it's another header. Barnes at ground level. McManaman.
Well, I've just sat in this half Manchester United, Mark, and say, well, we're not going to be silly, we're not going to overcommit, throw men forward. And they've just pinched one.
Redknapp. No one at the back post. It wasn't the worst ball. Well, there were two things in this goal. There was Gary Neville's eye-catching work on the right, but even so, David James at his best. Remember, he played for England at the end of last month. Would have just swallowed that up, but Andy Cole did. Here's McManaman. Thomas. Well, desperate times need desperate measures.
Well, the way this game's going, Mark, just toss it in, someone will score with a header.
I still can't bring myself to say that Gary Pallister is on a hat-trick, but it's true. But it's Pallister defending at the moment. Oh, that's Barnes, and maybe not the final touch.
I thought Barnes was in front. I actually thought Barnes was just going to knock this. Schmeichel comes out, and he's not getting there. If Barnes gets a bit more on this, look at Schmeichel's position. Absolutely no man's land. Maybe we've been too harsh. Maybe we should compliment the delivery. It's been good at times from corners, I have to say.
It's Cantona showing the ball can be headed away. Cole handing off Farmer. Free kick against him. Barnes. This is Fowler. Now Collymore. Cole looking to stream away, but he didn't need to collect it because it was deflected out for a Manchester United throw. Remember, Manchester United have won only once in their last 9 visits to Anfield. And Roy Evans having to dig deep into his resources here so much. John Barnes is being taken off. Still a quarter of the game to go. Patrick Berger will replace him. And the tactical brain of the Manchester United manager working overtime to get 1 or 2 things in place to cope with the change, he hopes. Thomas has given it away. Keane. And I just want to say one thing about David James. There are times when players need to be rested and left out, but Liverpool have left themselves without any real backup goalkeeper, without blooding someone who's never played at the top level. Now Palmer. So now we've got Collymore and Fowler and Berger. With McManaman behind them. And a 2-goal deficit in front of them. Collymore.
Well, we've certainly got players that can run with the ball. When you think of Berger, McManaman, Collymore, players who can get it down and take people on. It's all or nothing. It's as simple as that, Martin. We're as well losing this game now 4 or 5-1 and having a real go, and just, you know, keeping it tightish and losing it 3-1. I tell you.
There is one other factor, of course, that's new this season. That second place carries the position in a home and away playoff for a chance in the Champions League. So Liverpool wouldn't want to finish third.
No.
This season.
I'm just trying to get instructions onto the pitch. David Beckham, not sure where they're asking him to play. I think they're just trying to get them tight in midfield. They're asking Roy Keane, I think, to keep an eye on Berger, which means that Beckham just tucks in on Thomas, Scholes on McManaman, and Butt on McManaman, and Scholes on Jamie Redknapp.
McManaman won't give this one up. That's a corner well worked for. This time it's short to Redknapp. Berger is lining this one up. He was concentrating on making sure he got his foot round the ball.
That's ambitious. You know, they've got to try something. It's running away from goal. It's bouncing quite high. Difficult enough to control, let alone score from there.
Neville sold a bit short, and Fowler making a bit of good fortune for himself, and Collymore is in the centre. Well, Neville can only divert it behind for a corner. There haven't been too many moments when Manchester United have looked rattled, but that was one of them. Redknapp. Bjerneby, Collymore. And Schmeichel having problems reaching the ball around the frame of the goal, and the decision is a corner.
Yeah, it must just have been fingertips. He was just making sure it wasn't dropping in. This goes back. He's quite comfortable. Just made sure. Just edges it over. A little bit too much on it, Stan. He just wanted a glancing header.
It's not right. Another attacker reaches a corner. You see what I mean? Right, the defender being the attacker. They're giving as the suggestion that Liverpool are doing their best to press Manchester United back.
I would have expected that, Martin. I think Alex Ferguson would have been saying at half-time, listen, 2-1, that'll do us. We're fine with that. Don't take any chances. Let them press if we want, and then pick our times to go forward. And that's exactly what they've done without overcommitting.
It's a regulation foul here. And back getting up and getting on with it. Graham Cole, who has been known to brandish the card, is, I think what Andy and I would believe a sensible policy here. And it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Well, I think with just Andy Cole and Scholes at the edge of the box, this has been hit.
And it's Beckham!
Yeah. He got that up and down and with some pace, I tell you. Bobby comes out here and it looks there as if it's in. But there's so much bend on it. Too much. Certainly got it down. Good effort.
Graham Paul's got to step in now, and it is a booking for Gary Neville for bundling over Collymore onto the track.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any arguments about that one. But a goal any time now would make for an interesting 15 minutes or so.
Oh, Fowler must have been close to getting it there. Back from Berg. Right, marked tightly.
That's better. That ball's fizzed in. It's a dangerous ball, but this time they're all over right. Not so much winning the ball, Manchester United defensively, but just making sure no one in a red shirt has got a clear header.
Keane. Steady and sensible now, the order of the day for Manchester United. Off goes Cantona. Not in accordance with the views of the assistant, Barry Priest. Collymore surrounded by players in white. And ball by Scholes. He's certainly got involved since he's been brought on. And he's picked out Redmond. Schmeichel stretching to try and prevent the corner. Almost was misplaced effort because he's in danger of spinning that back into play straight to Steve McManaman.
I did well though, goalkeeper. Got to go a long way. Big long arms.
Pallister. And it's dropped over everyone except James, who climbed with an excellent defensive header. And here comes Keane. Neville making Berger work back towards his own goal, and that will please Alec Ferguson.
That was a good run, good positive run. Might easily have been tempted just to check back, thought Neville, but no, just drove to the goal line. Gary Pallister hasn't gone up in search of that hat-trick.
So Beckham takes the free kick. Johnsen was there. It's a puzzle really that Liverpool just haven't solved.
Fair enough, Martin, it's not the first game that problem's been evident, dealing with crosses. Speaking to Ron Atkinson when Coventry came up here, Mark Rick didn't play that day, and he said even though they were 1-0 down in that game, he felt that if they could put good delivery in from corners, that who was going to win the headers for Liverpool? That was their theory. In the end, it worked for them.
Peter Schmeichel might be the first to tell David James that he will learn from this experience and come back. We all hope the better for it. But it's a disheartening spell, and it's come at a vital time for his club.
Well, that's the position. It's the nature of the beast you choose to play, Martin, because you make a mistake as a defender, a midfield player, a striker, and there are other people in the team can rescue you. Invariably, if you make a mistake as a goalkeeper, that's it, goal.
Well, there's still enough time for Liverpool to try and at least prey on Manchester United nerves. They need one goal to do that. No nerves from Schmeichel, who radiates the comfort that Manchester United's league position will reflect should they take the 3 points that they're closing in on. It's been not really the season of certainties. Fowler. Berger. It's a bit too quick for Pallister. He's going to get a caution for that. He was committed to go for it. It was a genuine attempt to do that, but Berger was a bit too nippy.
Yeah, I think Berger just beats him to the ball. It's that close.
So Liverpool have a free kick with just over 10 minutes left. It's Cantona. This is Michael Thomas. It's a miskick. Sometimes those can unsettle defenders. Brought away by Keane. Thomas did well. Bjorneby. It's a bit hopeful from Varma. Berger. It's not perhaps been the force in the Liverpool season that he suggested when he exploded into the team in September. But here he is now. Wasn't tailored for Thomas. Varma did well. He gets it back from McManaman. Keane's challenge. Well, there's a disagreement between the two officials there, but Graham Pollard's given the corner, and he's the man that matters. Sheffield initially pointed for a goal kick. Redknapp. It's not a bad try.
Well, they just shut off again, Manchester United. They got caught. I mean, not even 2 against 1 there. It was 3 against 1 at 1 minute. This almost just came down. Well, that gives us a chance to look at the Cole goal and where he actually starts his run. Look at Andy Cole. Not happy just to drift at the front post, but just pulls away to the back. He thinks, well, it's been a waste. It wasn't.
Paul Scholes, who has really beaten away in midfield, and certainly not let Alex Ferguson down, who showed faith in picking him today. And on comes Brian McClare, fresh from a very lucrative testimonial. Great show of gratitude to him from the Manchester United fans in midweek. And from the manager, who said that McClare will get a new contract. McManaman. Redknapp. Varma. Collymore has to put it away. Manchester United trying to snuff out the possibility of a truly dramatic conclusion at Anfield. We've had plenty of those in recent seasons. Keane. It's efficiency again from the league leaders and the defending champions. Remember, only Blackburn have finished above them in the 4 previous seasons since the Premier League started. Redknapp, Berger, Fowler, Berger. Well, it was nearly very incisive, but nearly's not good enough for Liverpool in this situation.
No, that was never right, surely.
Sure.
He's got a hair trigger in that flag, that linesman today, isn't he? Goodness.
Cantona. A bit of space on that far side that Beckham might exploit, and Cole ahead of him.
It's just a matter now for Manchester United, just taking their time and being patient, keep the ball up there if they can, keep possession, no mistakes, And I think Alex Ferguson will feel, all right, not officially, he'll feel that the 4th Premiership title is in the bag.
What I'm sure he will say is that he cannot afford to rule out Arsenal, who play Blackburn at Highbury later today. Redknapp. Berger. Björneby. Now in danger of going offside in the centre. Thomas. Keane getting it away. Neville. Thomas. Now Redknapp. Manchester United happy to funnel back and pick it off. McLean. Cole. And that's Wright who read it. Cole not giving it up. Andy Cole has had such a difficult season with the illness first of all and then injury against Liverpool in a reserve game. He's kept him out for a while. Well, he's certainly got his own back today. Berger. That's a great cross. Schmeichel smothers it from Robbie Fowler.
It's been a nearly day for Robbie Fowler, Martin. That's about the 3rd time now he's gotten in there. Just gets away from him slightly. And if it gets that far away from you, and Peter Schmeichel's in goal, invariably that huge frame is off his line so quickly again, giving Fowler nothing to shoot at.
Well, with 5 minutes to go, some of the Liverpool fans are rather giving up on the team. And taking an early exit from Anfield. McManaman. Lost his head. About which much will now be written after today's events. But Cole drifting left, taking Harkness with him. It's there from Phil Neville. Don't need to do anything too complicated here, Manchester United. Quite the best piece of keep ball that you'll see. And here come Liverpool with Berger. And Collymore caught offside. Andy, does this game reflect what you felt perhaps over the season, that Manchester United do deserve to finish the season above Liverpool?
I think so, Martin. I think they're the stronger side. I think what you've always worried about Liverpool is just at the back. They've got a lot of good footballers on the side, but defensively at times they've just looked to lack that killer instinct, and even the team in general. Whereas this Manchester United side know all about protecting a lead.
Liverpool, it's the sort of season that most clubs would be very satisfied with, but they do set their standards very high here, particularly a shortfall in the chase for the championship. That is always very disappointing, and if it is now going to be what the 7-year itch since the last title in 1990. Keane. Getting a throw, and in the circumstances that will do.
Strange, normally in a game like this, Martin, you're talking about it's been tense, it's been tight, it's been won by a piece of marvellous skill, or the team's played a great move together, but there hasn't been a great deal between the sides, you know, but it's just simply been won by the side who have defended better, and one's defended real sloppily at times.
Manama. Bjorneby, just thinking that 3-2 is a scoreline Manchester United have been involved in a bit recently, haven't they? Losing 3-2 at home to Derby, winning 3-2 at Blackburn. And Liverpool haven't got that close. And Alex Ferguson, who's a stickler when it comes to the stopwatch. And Roy Evans must feel that as far as the title is concerned, Liverpool's time is virtually up for this season.
I think that's right, man, but I think Roy Evans will have again seen some improvement this year. Now, I think if you're asking me, I think probably at the beginning of the season he might have thought we're still a little bit short, we've still got a bit to do. But I do think that next year is the big year for Liverpool. I think Roy will expect in the... Well, they've already decided before they got here. But Roy will have decided that this is a year next year when they've got to really win the championship.
Quite recently, of course, that Manchester United did have another big win on Merseyside to go to Everton and get the 3 points last month. Thomas, Redknapp. Bjorneby. But you feel that Liverpool are probing more with hope than expectation now. Redknapp. Berger. Just not in their nature to toss the ball into the penalty area. But the cultured touches in midfield haven't produced a cutting edge up front. And at the back, as much Liverpool's shortcomings as Manchester United's ruthless finishing. Let's produce the outcome here. Cantona. Just making sure Manchester United keep the ball. Well, this is touch made it awkward for Kramer. Scholes in again.
Oh, you can't believe that. That is as much a gift as you're going to get at Anfield. I mean, his last goal was a gift, there's no doubt about that. But for a clear-cut chance and pick your spot.
Catch us if you can, is Manchester United's message at Anfield. Liverpool lose on a day they just had to win. United's insurance coming through David James's error in the second half and Andy Cole's header. No way back for Liverpool from that. United now have 5 points more. Liverpool have played 1 game more with only 3 to go for them. And they're without Robbie Fowler, remember, for all of them. It's such a vital victory for Alex Ferguson on a ground where good results for United have been hard to come by. 2 headers from Gary Pallister in the first half. In between, John Barnes scored for Liverpool.
I tell you what, Martin, looking at those players, I think they have now believed it. That's it, as far as they're concerned. I'm telling you, they don't get celebrations like this when you win an ordinary league game at Anfield. Those lads are convinced that result is winning the title.